Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode with me, Jerry Wayne. I'm very happy to have you all here. I was actually going to do a 4th of July video, but I didn't get around to doing that. I actually went out to the west side of the state of Michigan to spend some time with some friends and family, unplugged from politics a little bit, and we had a really great time. On the way back, though, man, I got a phone call saying that my garage door's been open for a couple nights from the police station. They came out and closed it for me. I really appreciate that. But everything was intact. Everything is good. And then on the way home, I got a speeding ticket, which that's not fun. And then actually right before that speeding ticket, I had an SUV trying to run me off the road, like in the middle of the night, in the middle of nowhere. So had quite an exciting 4th of July. I hope you all had a great 4th of July as well. And happy Independence Day to you all. Now, I want to jump right into this Nancy Pelosi stuff. Did what she do, was that right? Was it wrong? Was it ethical? I'm going to give you guys some information, and you can choose for yourself whether or not it was ethical. This is not financial advice, and all I'm doing is giving you guys some information, and you guys got to make up your own mind because you're smart people, right? Let's say Nancy Pelosi is the 7th richest person in all of Congress. Now, she spent like her entire career in Congress working for us. And during that entire time, she has gained a net worth of $114.7 million. Is it ethical? I don't know, but I don't like the fact that someone that's working for me is getting rich like that. They should be, you guys know what they should be doing. Do your job, make sure that we're taken care of, and not just yourself. And it seems like it's pretty one-sided. You know, they also make all the laws to dictate what they have to and what they don't have to do when it comes to announcing these stock trades. And we're going to get into that as well. So let's see, she's worth $114.7 million. She ends up buying these stocks. Now, these stocks aren't just, hey, I'm going to go in there and buy this stock. What she's doing is she's doing something that's called options, okay, or calls, rather. Now, this is when you go in, you're like, okay, I think that this company is going to be worth X amount of dollars by a year, okay? And there's a lot of risk, and there's a high risk and high reward. If you end up losing and that the market doesn't go up to that number, well, you're going to lose a lot of money. But if it does surpass that, you're going to make a lot of money. And that's what she's doing. So she's doing very hefty bets that these companies are going to keep going up. And they are going to keep going up because I already know this, and I'm going to tell you guys what Nancy Pelosi already knows. So let's get into the stocks that she's actually buying. We have Amazon. You guys know what that is. Apple, you know what that is. NVIDIA. Now, NVIDIA is an artificial intelligence company that actually creates microprocessor chips. We're going to talk about that in a moment. Then you have Google. You guys know what Google is. Tesla, you guys have to know what Tesla is if you're following me because I'm a huge Tesla fan. And then Microsoft and Roblox. So the big deal with everything that she's been doing is between Amazon and Microsoft, for me at least. Just before there was, Amazon didn't like the fact that Microsoft got a deal with the Pentagon. Now, what this deal is for something called I got it written down here actually. It's called the JEDI contract, and what it is for like some lenses for the Army, okay? And Microsoft got this deal. Well, Amazon ended up petitioning this stuff. Now, mind you, before Microsoft got this deal, Nancy Pelosi's already bought into Microsoft. 5 days before Amazon was cut into this deal that was passed through the Senate, well, Nancy Pelosi, I believe it was her husband, bought that stock. So just 5 days before. If that's not a red flag, I don't know what is. But then you have Microsoft, right? It's a $21.9 billion contract there. So it's a lot of money, right? She bought that stock on March 19th, and then the Pentagon awarded it March 31st. So that sends a red flag to me. She's doing it very early, but there is a clause to makes it to where she doesn't get in trouble with this stuff. Let me tell you what that clause is. It's called Rule 10B5-1. And what this does is it gives people out of Congress time to actually disclose their trade. So they have to go to the clerk and say, hey, I'm going to trade X stock for this money or whatever they're doing, right? And then they can just do whatever they want because they create the laws. So really, it's she's kind of within her rights to do this, right? But she also writes the laws in. So it's definitely like a catch-22 there. But she's also the person that's actually pushing this motive of this technological advancement. So they're writing these laws into place that gives tax credits to actually push to this new Green Deal, right? So, like Tesla, for instance. Tesla is going to be, in my opinion, the number one auto manufacturer in the world within 10 years. You can take that to the bank. That's what's going to happen. Like, I'm definitely going to keep saying that, so get used to it. Now, she bought a bunch of Tesla last year as well, and that was kind of a big deal. And then she's actually helping write this legislation of these bills to be passed, actually gives incentive for people to go the electric way. So she knows this stuff is going to happen regardless if Tesla is a good company or not, regardless if Amazon or Microsoft or Apple is a good company, because the government is giving incentives for our society to move into that direction. And I think that can be very dangerous. Is it insider trading? I don't know. That's for you guys to decide. So I also want to tell you guys what these companies are, what they're doing, because it's really important. The middle class is being, in my opinion, it's kind of being pushed down right now with the inflation coming in, with the Federal Reserve printing all that money. Bernie Sanders is already writing up another stimulus of $6 trillion. And let me put that into perspective, you guys. Last year, between 20 and 30% of all the money ever printed for U.S. dollars was printed last year alone. And that was just a few $1 trillion. Now Bernie wants to have another $6 trillion. So that if somebody thinks that's not going to cause inflation, then I don't know what to say to them, because that's exactly what that is. You keep printing money, your dollar is going to lose value. And some of you that follow me on Facebook, you hear me all the time, get out of a dollar, because this is what's happening. Why would you save something that's just going to keep getting printed? That doesn't make any sense, right? So that old time stuff that says, hey, save your cash, save your money, the times are changing, guys, and you need to get out of that stuff. And I'm going to have a crypto video come out too and tell you guys how those are great assets as well. But let's get into Nancy Pelosi and what she knows. So Amazon and Microsoft are both working on something for like cloud space. Okay, now cloud space is just a bunch of data revenue for this new generation of internet. They're getting affiliated with blockchain technology and stuff like that, right? So this technological advancement is going to keep coming into fruition with all these other companies. Now, even Trump spoke about this stuff a while back, calling them the MAGA companies. So you have Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and Apple. Those are the MAGA companies. Does that mean that he sides with everything to do? No, but these are the companies that are going to be driving us into the future. And they want to make it to where you guys don't know about this stuff, so you're not putting your money where it actually can work for you. The stock market's not going to go down anytime soon because the Federal Reserve keeps printing money. So, NVIDIA makes these microchips, right? And as they make these microchips, it's in high demand, and they can't keep up with it. Joe Biden came in originally when he first came into office, and one of his first executive orders was actually to speed up the process of these microchips, because I live in Detroit metro area, and you can see this all the time. These car companies are actually producing all these automobiles, and they're sitting in the lots, and they can't actually sell them yet because they need these chips to go into the vehicles before they send them out. So it's really slowing down our economy as well. But luckily for people like me who hold Tesla stock, Tesla actually went to NVIDIA to say, hey, are you guys going to go ahead and make these chips to our caliber for artificial intelligence, because Tesla is going to have autonomous vehicles? Well, they weren't up to the standard of Tesla, so Tesla actually ended up making their own, it's remarkable technology. And then Nancy Pelosi went and jumped on that stock. But I got into this way, way before Nancy, so that's why I'm telling you guys this stuff. This is the way of the future. It is not going to stop. That's why these guys, they're selling fear while putting their money into the bag. So they're not going to come out here and tell you guys this stuff. They're not going to tell you guys that we're in the fourth industrial revolution right now. They're not going to tell you that times are changing. They're not going to tell you that the reason why you go to Wendy's and they're offering a $500 bonus just to sign on is due because they can't hire people, because what they're doing is that they have these people leeching off of the state. So they keep coming out here saying, oh, we're booming. Well, the Federal Reserve just came out and said they're going to keep printing more money and to expect inflation to keep coming up. We have to be diligent with this stuff and understand what's going on. We, the people, are the ones that are going to be driving this. And we need to do our own due diligence. Look at this, guys. We have a phone right here. We have a laptop. We have all these devices with information. We can't be stuck looking at our screen and looking at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We need to understand what's happening, and that's why you guys are here, because I'm going to tell you what's happening. It's really exciting. So Google's doing the same thing with the cloud space, and everything's data-driven now. Nancy Pelosi knows this as well. Everything that you do on your phone or on your screen, data is being collected. And that's why a lot of these lawsuits are coming out too, is because that seems to be unethical, right? That they're collecting all this data from you. And what they're going to do with this data they're going to use that for advertisements. So all of your attention is being spent on these screens, right? So people that want to sell things are going to pay for Google and Amazon, all this, and YouTube, Netflix, things like that, to push their sales, like their commercials, onto you. And this is going to drive a major amount of revenue. Tesla, same thing, guys, except they're going to be doing autonomous vehicles as well as solar panels. Because we're going green whether you like it or not, guys, whether you like the big diesel trucks or whatever, we are going green because the incentives from the government is going to drive society. If things are getting expensive, say oil goes up to $100 a barrel, which right now is sitting around $70 a barrel. That goes up to $100. That means gas prices is going to go up, and it's going to drive you to this new innovation stuff. Nancy Pelosi already knows this. That's why she's getting her money in there now. So that way, when you guys need that solution, she's going to have her bags packed. And when you're like, oh, wow, we need to actually have this stuff so we don't drown in debt, she's going to make all of her gains from that. Okay, that's the biggest deal. That's the biggest deal that Nancy knows that you guys don't. So you need to get on this train of this new disruptive innovation, or else you're going to get left behind. I hope a lot of you actually watched my video from last week about disruptive innovation, because that right there is what's going to wash out the middle class. All this inflation with the Federal Reserve coming up, that is, I don't want to say it's designed to wash out the middle class, but that's exactly what it's doing. They're printing so much money that your hourly rate job can't keep up with that. So you just don't see it yet, but you'll be seeing that soon. Microsoft, Cloud Space, same thing. Roblox. Now, Roblox, what it is, it's like a video game, but it's a new type of video game. It's a video game to where kids, or just any users really, can create their own video games. This is a major deal because a lot of our time is spent on the screens, right? And our kids' time is spent on the screens. And this is going to be a big boom, especially with revenue. Because if you're spending all this time on your screens, and say Roblox becomes a really big deal, just video games in general, all these ads are going to start coming on these video games. And they have these new type of ads that comes on your screen, and then it's just going to be like one click away, and you can just purchase it. So it's like, purchase it right now, click, and then it's just going to come up and you can just buy it immediately. They're really cutting out the middleman with this stuff. And this is another thing that Nancy Pelosi knows, or at least what she's being told. I don't know for a fact that she knows this stuff, because I tell you what, guys, I do a lot of research with this. I spend a lot of time figuring this stuff out, understanding stocks, understanding cryptocurrencies, understanding this disruptive innovation, understanding where our society is going as a whole. I don't take this lightly of my position to actually come out and speak to you guys. I take this responsibility greatly. I want to come out and make sure I'm giving you guys concrete examples of where we are actually headed right now. And that's exactly what Nancy Pelosi knows that you guys don't, is that we are transferring right now into a completely new type of world, and everything's going to run very differently. And she has her money packed into things that are actually going to bring that into fruition. So with these video games, like I honestly do believe that eventually, we'll call it like, I don't know, 5 to 8 years from now, we'll call it 10 years just to be safe. But I believe more people will watch a video game of like basketball with that finals of the people just playing with remote controls. More people are going to watch that than the actual NBA finals. And this is another motion I think is being driven as well. Everything's getting political. All these sports, they're like basketball, football, baseball. Everything's getting political, and people are really washing out. They're stepping back from it, right? And we're spending all of our time on our screens. So all this information is going to keep pouring into you guys over time. So I'm going to keep spilling this. Excuse me, I keep hitting my mic. I'm going to keep spilling this stuff to you guys because this is exactly what's going to happen. This is what's happening. And the longer you wait to get on this, the less opportunity you're going to have. And eventually you're going to realize, as I keep putting this out, that I'm correct with what I'm saying. I'm going to have some people come on the show as well to actually speak about this stuff, because I'm only one man and I don't know everything. I don't want you guys to think that I'm an expert in any field whatsoever. I know a little bit about a lot of stuff, and all I'm doing here is just opening the door for you guys so you can understand that you actually have potential here. In the history of mankind, it has never been easier, especially for Americans, to chase your dreams and to go after what you want. You know, if you need a loan that's the lowest interest rates in the last 5,000 years. They're going to be going negative, by the way, too. Just give that a couple years. And because the Federal Reserve is not going to keep printing money, it's just going to keep on coming. Because they want to make people dependent on the state. And how do you do that? Free things for everybody. That's why with this, I can't say that word, but that's why with the whole sickness thing. They keep giving incentives of free things like, oh, you can win the lottery and free pizza and burgers and all types of weird stuff, right? So that's what all this is happening now. They want to get people to suck off the teat of the state, if you will. And while this innovation is happening, a lot of people are going to be without jobs because with these say like robots, for instance, they're going to start coming into fruition into the workplace, into fast food restaurants or even auto plants, right? These robots are becoming more technologically advanced, as well as are becoming far, far cheaper. So if people don't want to come back to work, because like, look, they sent everybody away for the whole sickness era. I don't know what I'm allowed to say on here, but you guys know what I'm talking about. And people are like staying in their houses, in their apartments, and working from home, and they're in their pajamas, and they can spend their time with their dogs and their kids and work at their leisure as long as they get it done, right? Well, they're calling people back into work now, and a lot of people are not coming back in because they're like, I can stay at home and get the same job done, and you're going to make me drive 30 minutes to work? Like, it doesn't make any sense. So we're never, ever, ever going to go back to normal. But you can be a pessimist with this or an optimist. And I'm an optimist. I think that's just me. I think that we have a lot of opportunity. It's never been easier to chase your dreams, guys. You have your phone, right? All the information you ever need on your phone. Do you want to learn how to make soap? It's on your phone. You want to learn how to make a treehouse? It's on your phone. Anything that you want to do in your life, someone is out there, an expert in that field, and they're teaching it for free. The opportunity is yours. The top opportunity is ours. We can work together, right? If you need help doing something, you can go on an app or a website called LinkedIn and find similar people with similar interests, and you guys can build that dream team together and do something about your career, whatever you want to do. You want to make pet rocks? Go make pet rocks, you know? I know it's not easy for everybody to do this stuff, but these next 5 years is going to be a catalyst to chasing your dreams. So we all right now have a choice. We can all be victims, or we can all be leaders in our own sense, I should say. If you want something, you need to go get it now. These interest rates are going to be low, and I'm not telling people to go into debt. I'm not a big advocate for debt, so consult your financial advisor for that stuff. But there's a gentleman named Dan Pena, and I might do a short video with him as well. And actually, what he's doing is he's teaching people how to use the current situation for their best interest, to actually go and chase their dreams. So if there's anything I can bring you guys, I hope it's hope, and I hope it's drive. I'm going to keep doing more and more videos like this, guys. It's not just Nancy Pelosi isn't a genius, okay? She doesn't know all this stuff. It takes me thousands and thousands of hours of research to figure all this stuff out. And I'm telling you, someone that's supposed to be doing her job does not know all of this information, or at least she has to be bumping elbows with people that do know this information. So again, I'm not going to be pointing fingers at anybody per se. But the thing is, we can go ahead and sit here and be upset that someone like Nancy Pelosi is doing something, or we can get off of our butts and figure this out for ourselves, okay? This is a race of wealth. This is the biggest wealth transfer in the history of mankind. The baby boomers are going to start retiring. Many of them have businesses that they don't have a business plan to actually give off to somebody else, or they don't have kids to actually hand that off to. So these businesses have great revenue, and then there's opportunities to go out and buy these businesses. And again, I know everybody doesn't have the means to go out and get a big loan. They have kids, they have debt and all that stuff. If you want to get out of debt, guys, you can go out and just flip things on Facebook Marketplace. You can get something for free and sell it for $20. So there are a lot of different ways to create revenue here. I keep bumping this thing. But just stick to it. Stay diligent. Make sure you subscribe to this, like it, comment, all that good stuff, guys. I'm going to keep bringing this to you because there's definitely light at the end of the tunnel. And I feel as if all of our representatives, like, nobody's really looking out for you. No one's looking out for your well-being. Everybody's hanging on dust. We don't know what's true anymore. Like, what's happening with the news? We don't know who to trust anymore. We don't know who to trust in Congress or the Senate. Like, we have no idea what's going on. We're really left in the dark here. So I really hope that I can be some sort of a beacon for you guys. Because I'm going to give you guys the best information I possibly can, as truthful as I possibly can, because I've got nothing to gain from this and everything to lose. So every time I open my mouth, like when that whole thing happened about a year ago with the whole Biden thing, I'm on top of the world and everybody loves me, right? Every time I open my mouth, it's going to be a catalyst for someone to dislike me. And that's not why I'm doing this. I'm not doing this to be liked. I'm doing this to tell you that this is important and this is something that we really need to be focusing on and understanding. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign off of here. I love you very much. Stay diligent, stay safe, stay armed, and just stay yourself, guys. Keep your chin up, shoulders back, chest out. Be the best person you can be, and God bless America. I love you guys. Nancy Pelosi is